Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another lesson with me. So we were focusing on comprehensions and we went over the Wildlife Conservation Society, and we looked at the passage. We highlighted things that we thought that I thought was important because I was the one highlighting, but we highlighted things that I thought was important. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be answering questions based off of the comprehension that we read. So I will make reference to the comprehension and the parts that were highlighted that may or may not be the answer, so that we don't get too off track in terms of what we're doing. Let's get started. So we did the Wildlife Conservation Society, which, long story short, is basically just a whole bunch of programs set up in order to protect wildlife, to conserve wildlife. And on top of also protecting wildlife, what they're actually doing is they're educating people and kids on different types of wildlife and different types of species. So let's get straight into it. Question number 1. What does WCS stand for? What does WCS stand for? And what's going to happen is I'm not actually going to write down the answers because I am lacking space. I'm going to verbally answer the answers. That seemed a bit weird because I said answers twice in one sentence, so it kind of made my brain glitch. But let's carry on. So, what does WCS stand for? Let's make reference to our passage. WCS stands for Wildlife Conservation Society. So, remember, when we're answering questions with comprehension, we have to answer them in full. We can't just say WCS Wildlife Conservation Society. WCS stands for the Wildlife Conservation Society. Awesome. Let's break even and go to number 2. Number 2, what is the meaning of conservation? What is the meaning of conservation? Instead of just randomly giving you my perspective of what I think conservation means, I actually went and I Googled it. So conservation is the prevention of wasteful use of a resource. So when you're conserving something, you're preventing the wasteful use of something. And if we're referring to animals, we're more specifically pertaining to the extinction of specific animals, right? So the wasteful use is the extinction, whether it's animals being poached for their skin, for their meat, it doesn't really matter. So how we're going to answer this question is the meaning of conservation is the prevention of wasteful use of a resource. Remember, we're answering in full, and how you answer in full is by answering the question with the question. Right. Number 3, what is the first program and what makes it special? Remember, when we were reading our comprehension, there was a part that spoke about the first program and what made this program different. Let's have a look at our answer. So the Bronx Zoo. The first program was founded in 1899. It has been a leader in wildlife conservation education since it opened. So the first program is the Bronx Zoo, which is a zoo. So we answered a part of the question. So sometimes you get questions that have 2 questions in one. So we answered the first question. What is the first program? And the first program is the Bronx Zoo. The Bronx Zoo is more than a zoo. So when we're saying what makes it special, our answer will come after this. So it's more than a zoo. It offers a variety of courses. So our answer would be, what is the first program? So the first program is the Bronx Zoo. And the Bronx Zoo is more than a zoo because it offers a variety of courses. So that's how you're going to answer it. The trick about comprehensions is basically just putting it in your own words without really putting it in your own words. So instead of saying the Bronx Zoo is more than a zoo, full stop, it offers a variety of courses, I went and I said The Bronx Zoo was the first program, and it was more than a zoo because it offers a variety of courses. You guys are old now, you understand the concept of conjunctions, joining two sentences together, and there are specific words that we use to do that. So that's exactly what I did. I used because to join two sentences together, the way and was used to join two questions together here. Awesome. Number 4, we're moving like lightning. You guys are doing great, just stay with me. Which type of animal would you find in the second program? That's question 1. Which type of animal would you find in the second program? What is the name of the second program? So what I never actually mentioned is that you need to highlight your key points in your questions in order to find your answers in your passage. For example, number 1, what does WCS stand for? WCS is our main focus in question number 1. What is the meaning of conservation? Conservation was the main focus in question number 2. What is the first program and what makes it special? So those two questions, the main focus point of both of them is what is the first program, and what makes it special. For number 4, we're looking for the type of animal in the second program. Next is what is the name of the second program, right? So here we've underlined our key points. Now let's go into our passage to find the answer. The second program, the New York Aquarium. So we found the answer to the second question, which is what is the name of the program, which is the New York Aquarium. The New York Aquarium is situated on 14 acres by the sea. It is in Coney Island, Brooklyn. It is home to thousands of fish and a multitude of marine creatures, right? So it's asking what type of animal. Not necessarily asking for the specific types of animals that are there, but it's asking what types of animals. We may have different animals and they all fall under the category animals, but they all also have their own subcategories, right? So we're gonna start this answer with what the name of the aquarium is, what the name of the second program is. So we will say the name of the second program is the New York Aquarium, which is home to thousands of fish and a multitude of marine creatures. You can be extra and say these include the beluga whales, sharks, walruses, and dolphins, but they didn't ask for a specific mention of the animal, but the type of animal. You must pay attention to your questions and what they're asking you, because you don't want to answer something that they didn't ask you. So our question and our answer is the second program is called the New York Aquarium, which is home to thousands of fish and multitude of marine creatures, which is a type of animal. Awesome. Last 2 and then it's a wrap. Number 5. What are the 3 species of gorilla the WCS work with in Africa? So we're looking for 3 species of gorilla in Africa that the WC works with. So here we are, and I've highlighted it. Have you noticed how a lot of our answers are coming from things that I've highlighted in the passage? Highlighting is very important. I know it seems tedious and it makes you feel like you're a child if you have to highlight answers in a passage and underline questions, but it helps you move along through answering a comprehension a lot faster. When you start to get to a level where you're writing exams in a specific amount of time, doing this can take up a lot less time than having to scout and surf through the whole comprehension to find your answer, right? Awesome. So we have over here in Africa, WCX with 3 gorilla subspecies. So these are all gorillas, they are just subspecies, means, okay, I have a specific type. So like you have sharks, which is a species. Then you have the great white shark, the whale shark. Those are subspecies of sharks. Awesome. So here is our answer right at the bottom. WC works with all 3 gorilla subspecies, mountain gorillas, growers gorillas, and western lowland gorillas. So how you're going to answer this question is the 3 species of gorillas the WCS work with in Africa is the mountain gorillas, the growers gorillas, and the western lowland gorillas. That's your answer. I know having to answer it in full can seem, like I said, a bit tedious because they're asking you a question. Why can't you just write the answer? Because it's wrong. Okay, this is English. We focus on grammar as much as it's a comprehension. We're looking at your understanding of things that you read and your ability to be able to find information. But grammar should never go out the window when you're doing English, and that's why we answer questions in full. Awesome. Number 6, our last one. What can you get out of the 5th program? We read that again. What can you get out of the 5th program? So they're not asking what the name of the 5th program is, but what are the benefits that you can receive from the 5th program. And let's take a looky here. Here's the 5th program. So it says you can tunnel through the period dog town, master the language of baboons, create animal art using meerkats as your models. So your answer to the question will be, what you can get out of the 5th program is tunnel through the period dog town, master the language of baboons, and create animal art using meerkats as your models. Awesome, guys. So that's basically a wrap on our comprehension. I really do hope that this gave you a better understanding of how to answer comprehensions effectively. I promise you, the older you get and the higher you get in the level of your grades, this type of information is going to come in so handy, because time is everything when you're sitting in an exam room. And the older you get, the longer your comprehensions are going to become. They're not going to extend the time because your comprehensions are long. So highlighting important facts and highlighting important aspects of a question is very essential to killing time in an exam and a comprehension. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this little activity with comprehension. See you guys again next time. Bye.